From Taiwan, I'm Laurel Stewart with the news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan will soon host its largest annual Hanguang military exercise. As Alan Liu reports, the drills this year will place more emphasis on cooperation between the military and the public and will include a drill disrupting internet service.
Taiwan's annual Hanguang military exercise will begin next Wednesday, with a strong focus this year on urban resilience drills. Hanguang 42, Taiwan's largest military exercise of 2026, will simulate a scenario where China turns military drills into an actual attack, testing Taiwan's rapid response capabilities. This year's exercise will also expand urban resilience drills from 1 day to 2, with greater coordination with civilians. For the first time, the armed forces will also conduct a communications disruption drill in northern and central Taiwan, simulating slower internet speeds. The exercise is expected to affect around 17 million people, almost 3/4 of the population, raising public concerns about daily life and why only certain parts of the country were selected. Officials say the impact on essential public services will be minimal.
我们的演练这个时间的规划基本上还是基于通讯流量、人口密度的整体考量。演习的期间，政府将确保重要的公共服务不受影响。
The exercise follows 2 rounds of military drills held in June and July. Officials say those exercises were mainly designed to familiarize troops with the operational environment, while August Hanguang exercise will feature more unpredictable scenarios that better reflect real combat.
没有剧本，也没有按照所有的时序去进行，所以所有的磨练都是取决于所有干部对于临机状况的应处。
The Coast Guard will also take part in the exercise alongside the Navy, practicing how it would transition from peacetime to wartime operations, including refitting its vessels for military use. The military says drones will play a critical role this year, with unmanned systems being used for battlefield reconnaissance. The drills will also test inter-city mobilization and reinforcement, as well as convoy escort operations under a simulated blockade. This year's drills continue to emphasize unscripted scenarios and include more participation from civilians. As Taiwan continues to face growing military pressure from China, exercises like these are aimed at testing the country's ability to protect its people. Fu Hua Hong and Anna Lu in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's military plans to acquire more than 200 new upgraded variants of the domestically made clouded Leopard armoured vehicle. A Defence Ministry procurement list says 235 of the new combat vehicles will be produced between next year and 2033. The upgraded clouded Leopard has a remote-controlled turret with an automatic grenade launcher and machine gun. It has improved targeting capabilities tested against aerial drones. The vehicles are part of the Army's 5-year force restructuring plan. Taiwan's foreign ministry says it's going to stop buying some liquefied natural gas from Papua New Guinea.
我方目前呢已经盘点我对巴纽的依位跟农业相关的援助规模，以及对该国 LNG 的购买额度，并已正式的停止向巴纽采购现货的天然气。
The move comes after Papua New Guinea ordered Taiwan to close its representative office in the country. Taipei was one of Papua New Guinea's top importers of liquefied natural gas. The Foreign Ministry says Taiwan bought roughly 500,000 tonnes on the spot market in the first half of the year. Taipei's office in Papua New Guinea is still operating there. The Foreign Ministry says that it will keep communicating with its officials there and will re-evaluate ties as the situation develops. Officials in Taiwan have released the results of an investigation into a recent case of carcinogen tainted cooking oil. They say while there is no evidence that the toxin was generated during production, some risks had been overlooked. Irene Lin reports.
In late June, the public learned that a massive batch of cooking oil laden with a toxic compound had made its way to store shelves, restaurants, and school cafeterias. Now, nearly a month later, the findings of an independent investigation into the matter have been released. According to third-party analysts, there's no direct evidence that benzopyrene, the grade 1 carcinogen found in the oil, was generated during production. But they did find multiple risk factors, such as inconsistent limits on heat-damaged soybeans.
它跟这个国家的采购合约是定5%，所以它为了要整个的一致性，把它提高到5%，所以它采购的合约是热损率5%可以接受，可是，在制程里面定的是0.5%，所以在这个地方就有点不符。
The report says soybeans imported from Brazil carry higher risks of benzylpyrene, or BAP, than U.S. imports. And health officials say the lack of BAP testing before the products are shipped out is a major flaw.
好，它不等于绝对到后面的这个苯比一定会带高，但是原料的品质是一个风险，所以必须要建立这个风险的管控机制。所以刚刚才会提到专家的建议，就是把这个热损率的比例当成是一个预警，然后让它可以做风险的分级管控。
Taiwan's cabinet has approved several amendments to a food safety law aiming to address some of the regulatory gaps. The proposal requires more frequent self-testing by food production firms, government approval for the firm's own labs, immediate reporting of irregularities, and robust third-party testing and reporting mechanisms. As for whether officials should step down for alleged neglect and cover-up, the cabinet and the Taiwan FDA stress that they have been transparent about the case and will continue to update the public while they process legal changes. Kuang and Irene Lin for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's stock market opened down on Tuesday, seeing losses widen in early trading. Taiwan's benchmark index, the TAIEX, closed down 4.65% as AI-related stocks were heavily sold off. It comes amid concerns about the massive funding demand spurred by the AI boom. Across the region, Japan's Nikkei slid more than 4% and South Korea's Kospi dropped more than 10%. China has reportedly started making its own advanced chip-making machines for domestic chip producers, according to media outlet The Information. Their reporting says China has begun to make lithography machines which print chip patterns onto silicon wafers. These include both deep ultraviolet, or DUV, and extreme ultraviolet, or EUV systems. Dutch manufacturer ASML has long dominated both kinds of lithography. The company's shares dropped 4.6% following the report. But China's new systems are reportedly still behind ASML on performance and reliability. The move comes as China tries to build its own chip-making ecosystem as US restrictions limit access to advanced tools. Firefighters in Spain and France are battling powerful wildfires that have ripped across large areas, forcing mass evacuations. And with more hot weather expected, there are concerns these destructive fires may not end soon. John Van Trieste reports.
In eastern Spain, yet more woodland erupts into flames. Nearly 9,000 hectares have caught fire here in the province of Castellón alone amid an intense summer heat wave, and firefighters are still battling to get some kind of control. Even in spots where the fires quieted down a bit, flames still sear a path through the surrounding hills.
It was like in the movies where hell cracked the ground open and you see the red hell. That's how it was here. On Saturday night, this hill was horrific. In that area with the houses, there were flames 15 to 20 meters tall. It was an atrocity.
Elsewhere across Spain, similar scrambles to stop the worst as wildfires blaze. Here outside the capital, Madrid, an operation to stop a stubborn blaze fueled by high temperatures and ample kindling. Spanish forestry experts say, in a changing climate, more needs to be done to prepare for wildfires that simply will come more fiercely and more often.
Wildfires must be addressed throughout the entire year. It doesn't matter if it's summer or winter, continuous forest management is needed so that when a fire does occur, forests are in the best possible condition for firefighters to contain and combat it.
In neighboring France, heavy machinery tears through the vegetation by the side of a highway, a race against flames that are ripping through the Bordeaux region. These wildfires causing mass evacuations. 220,000 people here in France and around 100,000 in Spain. None of the evacuees sheltering in this Bordeaux hangar can say when it will be safe to leave or what they'll find waiting for them when they do.
Je suis étonnée, mais agréablement.
I'm pleasantly surprised because I feel we have been extremely well looked after. We have been welcomed and supported in absolutely every area we might need help. And as far as I'm concerned, having help for my animals is important.
In the city of Bordeaux itself, life goes on, but the flames are closing in, now just kilometers away. And so for officials, it's all hands on deck. President Emmanuel Macron has come to see the latest plans of action.
We must understand that we are facing a completely unprecedented wildfire. The situation we are dealing with today is the most severe we have ever recorded, the toughest since the Second World War. More than 160,000 hectares have already burned, and the season is far from over.
While a smaller fire is contained, the main blaze near Bordeaux is still ripping through wooded areas. And despite some progress, a new heat wave expected this week, combined with windy conditions, mean French firefighters face a tough campaign ahead. Eason Chen and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
India's biggest youth protest movement in more than a decade has forced a rare concession from Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government. Following the Education Minister's resignation, Tiffany Wong reports on how an exam scandal became a litmus test for India's strongman.
Celebrations in the streets of Mumbai after India's biggest youth-led movement forces one of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cabinet members and closest allies to step down.
Yeah, I did not expect the Education Minister to resign because being the track record of Government of India, no minister has taken responsibility and resigned, even if there are a lot of issues.
This is a new generation who has led this reform come, and I'm really happy. My daughter is also here today, and I'm supporting her future, and that's all because of Gen Z who has started this.
Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan resigned over the weekend following protests over alleged irregularities in a nationwide university entrance exam. Protesters adopted the name Cockroach Janta Party after critics mocked them as cockroaches, turning the insult into a symbol of resistance and an unlikely political force. The marches quickly turned into a massive campaign demanding government accountability and equal opportunity. Authorities responded with forceful dispersals and internet shutdowns as the protest movement gained momentum on social media.
As we know, democracy dies in darkness, and internet shutdowns are a form of darkness that gets imposed.
Demonstrations have died down following the Education Minister's resignation, a key protest demand. But as organizers seek millions of dollars in compensation for those directly affected, they say the fight is far from over.
The dent in the personality of Mr. Modi, the manner in which his cult was hammered at, all those issues are there, and there would be definitely a sense of victory and a sense that we can actually make a difference. We can force the government to take a particular decision.
What started as an exam leak scandal has become a defining moment of concession in Modi's premiership, known for strong, centralized control. Analysts say the coming weeks and months could shape India's political landscape well beyond the protests. Alex Chen, David Santos, and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we take you to the Swiss Alps, where more than 100 musicians gathered for the International Alphorn Festival. I'm Laurel Stewart. Take care. See you next time.